Hi everyone and welcome back to a little bit of Path of Exile. We are playing Scourge League and our league start went pretty smoothly, I'm not gonna lie. It was very much fun and you had a good time with a couple of friends. And yeah, so let's talk about it a little bit. I started off with a very lucky transmute and got a +1 to level of all cold spell skill gems. And that in combination with a Act 2 Wandcraft carried me through the campaign, and up until now, up to level 73, it was no problem. I have killed Baron, Drox, as well as Veritania with that, and I now switch to a staff. Honestly, crit multi, cold damage, that's all that's on there. I'm missing a Regal, but I was able to just ult spam a little bit and it went to this, and that's a huge damage upgrade for us. Now, instead of leveling with pinpoint and cold pen, I leveled with increased crit and increased crit damage, because the +3 levels that we have from our mastery point over here, and that made a huge difference actually in crit leveling. I wanted to test it. Normally I would have gone for elemental overload, which can be very good, right? If you don't have lots of crit investment, but with this node, you gain a decent amount of crit decently early. So yeah, that went good. It was fun. It means that we are missing out on intensity, which is an integral part of the build in itself, but that's okay, right? And yeah, so we have just League Start gear. Honestly, everything here, no anoint as well, everything is pretty much just as much life as we could get, and resistances, and that's it, right? Good amount of movement speed here, good amount of life, strength dex, awesome. So yeah, scuffed gear, as you would expect. Yeah, a facing jewel in our Stygian, which is fairly nice, I really do enjoy that. So let's jump into a map. Actually the map against Hezmin, and just see how the build plays, how it feels. And yeah, just wanted to give a little bit of a feedback to the league start itself. Honestly, for our group, it went very, very smoothly. We had a couple of disconnects from some of the guys. I personally didn't have more than 2, and I had like 1 or 2 game crashes, which is a-okay. It didn't bother me too much, actually. I didn't lose anything, or it was just, yep, it crashed, went back to desktop, oh whatever, just restart the game and go again. It's fine. It was a very solid league start in my eyes. So yeah, server-wise, I mean, and stability-wise. And that's always very, very enjoyable, right? That's a huge part of what makes a league start enjoyable, is the stability and like how smooth the game runs for you while playing, right? And this time around, honestly, it was smooth again. I really enjoyed it, and I think most of us had the same experience. I didn't check anybody's league start videos at the moment because I expected not being able to play as much as I was able to, and honestly that was very, very cool. Really enjoy that I was able to play more than expected, and I leveled 2 maps in about 9 hours and 10 minutes, I think it took me, with all the skill point side quests done, all 3 laps done, and kill Kitava Act 10. That was the goal I had. I wanted to see if I can get a little bit better with my league starts, because I always felt like, okay, it takes me like 10 hours to get 2 maps, which is fine for me, honestly. But I still wanted to see what I can do, and I wasn't expecting too much, because I'm playing my own little experimental build, right? But yeah, Freezing Pulse is just, throughout the campaign, it is a solid skill, and the freezes honestly help negate a little bit of the defensive difficulties that we do have with this build. So yeah. But as you can see here, map bosses, we can pretty solidly freeze them, but we still have to be careful, obviously. But that was... ow, that hurt. That was fairly decent. Not gonna lie, for Leaguestart, that's pretty much all I want, right? That is a... oh, hey. That's pretty much what I would expect as well. So, yeah, it is time for Hezmin. Let's see what we can do. That was a little bit early for the flask, I think, but that's okay. Yeah, you can clearly see that this is not like much damage, right? I was expecting that, and I said when I talked about the build in the first video that I'm okay with it taking a little bit longer, that I'm okay that the damage isn't gonna be high from the start, and honestly, it did not bother me so far at any point. I don't know, I just really much enjoy the playstyle and just the feel of the build, right? So yeah, it was the right decision. And there we go. We actually were able to defeat Hezmin, which is cool. Very, very cool. Also, that means we now have 4 Watchstones. And since this is the new league, right, that also means that we will jump to Awakening level 2 now. But I was holding off on socketing the Watchstones just because I want to get a little bit more completion on the tier 2 and 3 maps. That's just personal preference. I don't want to go forward too fast, right? So yeah, that's just a little bit of a personal thing there. But honestly, I mean, yes, it took a while. The fight took a while. We had to deal with the mechanic. We had to deal with not being the highest damage dealer. But I very much enjoyed it, and that's fine, right? If you know what your build can do and what you can expect, stuff like that does not really bother you, and I honestly prefer to play that way. Oh, hey. That's really, really cool. That should be another 20C, right? If we can get through the trade, awesome. So yeah, I've had a very lucky drop rate on Leaguestart. Not gonna lie, this was luckier than a lot of the times, and I don't know if the league has anything to do with it. But yeah, so that pretty much paid for a lot of things. I've invested about 30 chaos in this build, and I'm sitting on 21 now, so that's fairly decent. We made around 50 chaos on the first 1.5 days-ish, which is sick. Or the first 2 days, if you want. Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption. What do we have here? That's not too bad, actually. It's item level 70, so we might just keep this on the side. Or we might throw this into the league mechanic at some point, which could be fine. We need to go into Discord later. Yep, that's okay. What have I scaled here? Pretty much, I went for jewelry, and I started now doing the weapons thing, just so we can corrupt a couple of rings. Honestly, that should be fine. And that's the plan. Just continue, have some fun. If we take a quick look, we've played for 14.5 hours, are on level 73. So we are not looking too bad. It was quite chill, as I said. Completion is on 14. That's not too bad, honestly. Leaguestart for me went pretty smooth this time around again, and I'm glad it went that way. So the last thing I want to talk a little bit about is where do I take the confidence to go in with my own build that I know is not the best damage and not the best build defensively. Honestly, I've played with Freezing Pulse for like 4 characters now, and I just know what to do when something goes wrong. Most of the time, that's a huge part of it. But also, I seriously just enjoy the playstyle very much, right? So, yeah, if you know how something works and if you like how it works and how it plays, you can like get a little bit ahead sometimes not, right? Sometimes I just get one-shotted and that's it, but that's okay, right? Because I know that I'm not the best defensively and offensively with this build, it doesn't bother me, and that's pretty much where the confidence comes from, right? I don't have to worry too much about it, which is always nice. So yeah, that's it for the first update of the league. Honestly, we will talk about the league mechanic next video because I haven't done too much now. I want to have a little bit of time to investigate the league mechanic a bit more. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, take care. Bye.